Hi everyone, this is a creative design team project for Tracie Fox. Links to Tracie's shop, social media and digital kits used will be linked below, as will a link to the Foxy creative design team. Hope you enjoyed this video. So I'm on with one more process video for my owl journals before I do the flip through. I did promise that I'd do something with the Bird Catalogue Tags kit. And it has these beautiful cards that you can make up. So you fold them in half and you've got the front and the back here. But I want to use them in a slightly different way today. Yeah, I love these. Now you get all different sizes too. You get some middle-sized ones and some really small ones. And then you get pictures that you can put on them as well of all these birds, and you get these really tiny, teeny tiny little labels. Yeah, they were fun to cut out. I was losing them everywhere. So I have them as well. So there was an owl on this sheet of birds, so I've cut that out to use that, a barn owl. So what I want to do is make a little book. Now I've made one just to figure out what I wanted to do, and because I need two, one for each journal, and I'm going to do basically the same thing today. So here's the one that I've made. So again, I've used the slides from the Faux-To Slide kit as well, just to add some decoration on it. And there's the picture. I've put some information there as well. And it's housed this information that I have, and I have two of these bits of information on the barn owl, so I thought I'd put that in there and then just make it a little booklet with some of my junky pages that can be written in or things stuck in there. So that's what we're going to do today. So we'll start with the outside. So we've got our slide here, which we need to fold in half, so we'll do that first. Pretty good. And then we'll do the inside of the covers first. So I have this information, and I harvested a couple of books and they were the same, so I was able to have two of these pieces. So I want to cut this in half so I could put half on the inside front and half on the inside back cover. And then because it's very white and it's quite thin as well, I want to back that. So what I'll use is some just blank book page paper that I've cut from somewhere or other. So we're going to line that on there. But what I want to do with that is, so it's not so boring, I will do a bit of text stamp on that. Just about do it, but we'll do one more to be safe. So that'll fit on like that, so I'll just chop this about there. Might slice down this one as well a bit. I'll leave a bit of a gap in the middle just so it doesn't bulk it up while we open and close it. And so what I'll do for that is just ink it, just to take the whiteness away of that gap in the middle. Now, before we stick these down, which I nearly forgot to do, we will put our little bits of information on, and I'll ink around them really quickly, just lightly around the edges. And then we can just position it so we know where we want to stick our information, because we want it about in the middle. Now, once that's dry, we are going to sew around the edges, and when I do that, I like to add just a little bit of texture as well. So I have this. I got it from some packaging of something that arrived the other day, and I love it. So I thought I'd use some of that. So I'm using 3 strands for each side, to be specific. What I'm doing is just gathering them together. Like so. And then when I start sewing, I do a zigzag along it, and that just brings it together as I put it along. And you can see here, and then I just let the ends stick out a bit so you can see what it is a bit. It just adds a bit of texture. Don't mind my sewing there. My bobbin hadn't hooked around what it should have when I put it in, and so the stitch went funny, but I didn't want to stop stitching to fix it, so I just let it go. It's meant to look like that, of course, but I don't mind that, so I left it like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run it along the bottom again like that, the 3 bits on each, and then we'll be back to stick it on our backgrounds. I've zigzagged along the top and the bottom and just did straight stitch along the side there. So they're ready to stick in now. So I'm just going to use my Helmer's fabric glue here. When I did my other booklet, I did try a glue stick, and it was really messy and sort of really bubbled things up. So I didn't like it at all. So I actually had to cut out this part again and stick it over the top just to neaten it up. It looked that bad. So I thought I'm not going to make that mistake or use any wet glues. So I thought I'll use this one because I know it doesn't bubble up that much. So that's what I'm going to do. So as I said, we just want to cover it up and leave a little gap so our covers close nicely. So I might turn it and do it upside down so I can try and get the top and this outside sort of flush. Now maybe I'll put the glue on here. Might be easier. And we're upside down, aren't we? Yep. Double checking. It's not too bad. Just trim any bits sticking out afterwards. that looks good. I think we need to trim this just a little bit. If they get too annoying, these little sticky outy bits, you can trim them how you like them. So now we'll just stick the other side on. So that's the basis of the book done. Now we will worry about doing, just thinking we could do our pages, couldn't we, next, I think? And then we can worry about the outside afterwards. Which is back to front from the way I did it before. So our pages, I have, this is just tea dyed or coffee dyed paper that I was gifted, I think, and it's got some real grungy bits on it, and it's a little wrinkly in that. I didn't want to use it as pages, but it's perfect for this sort of thing. So I'm going to use 2 of them, and I had a bit of a mishap when I measured because they're a bit short that way. They're the right length, but they're a bit short. But I thought that's all right. I still want to use them. And I have some offcuts of map page. I'm using a map elsewhere in the journal. I had these offcuts and they were the perfect size pretty well. So I want to use one of them as well. So what I'm going to do is just have one on the inside, probably up the top there. If I can get it in there. And then one on the outside, or I might, no, actually I might go up the top on the outside. I can't remember. How did I do it in the last one? I did go down the bottom on the outside. Not that it really matters. A bit like that. And then the pages. I don't want to put too many in, bulk it up a bit too much, but just a bit of writing space. And then they're going to sit inside a little booklet like that, hopefully. They might need a little bit of trimming, we will see. That's looking all right. So that is the plan. So I'll grab some clips just because with the last one, because they're so close, I need them pretty spot on. I still had to trim a couple of them afterwards. But it just helps when I punch the holes. So I'm doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch for this. You could staple or something, but I like doing the pamphlet stitch for this sort of thing. I like the way it looks. So I've got my board that I use to poke holes on. I've got a slightly bigger needle to poke the holes. So I'll just eyeball, since we're just doing a little area. One in the middle. And then one about a centimetre and a half away from that end, although I do like to catch those other pages. Oh, it doesn't matter too much though. About there will do. Can I do it? It was easy last time. And then about the same here. Yep, that worked. What I haven't done is inked. I inked the outside last time before I put it together, which is probably easier, but I'll do that in a minute. So I'm just using one piece of thread, which isn't the sturdiest, but I think it will hold this together all right. And this thread is from when I frayed the cotton material that I've been using, the brown material that I'm using to embellish here and there. Just using some of that thread. did I? I did too, just pull it through. It always goes wrong when you're doing it on camera. Hang on, I'll start that again. In through the middle. I thought I won't like describe it as I go because I've done it so many times. I'll leave you a long tail and it'll go up through the top. I see I've got too much of a, that's where my thread is, down through the bottom. And then back through the middle again. And I'll put my thread under. Definitely different lengths these are, but that's all right, doesn't matter. It's just a little bitty book. Okay, so that's our little book done. It's only hanging out a bit there that you can see, but it sort of depends how you're holding the, little book as well. If it annoys you, you can just go in and chop off the bits that are a bit crooked, but I don't think it will bother me too much. As I said, it's just depends how you're holding your book, but that's not too bad. All right, now the inking that I forgot. So I just want to go around the outside and inside of our cover piece. Okay, that's a bit better. Now next, I think we'll do our back. So for this, I use my little barn owl picture that came from the kit, and I've ripped him out, so I will do that with this one. And he's going to go there, and we'll layer him with some cheesecloth. So I've got this beautiful cheesecloth here. Just want to get some of this brownish coloured cloth. And we'll put him on that. And let's see how much we want to trim him down. Now to go in with some fabric glue, or else this is just going to fray everywhere and disappear, so and just tack it, most of it down lightly. Okay, now the next thing we will do is I have little words that I cut out of one of these books. It's one of your field guides, and I cut his name out, the barn owl. So we'll use that, why not? And we'll use his species, I think that one is, so we can use that as well. So I'll just put a bit of ink on that. So fiddly. It's a bit better. And then I definitely need my tweezers. Oops, and the right glue. You could use this for that's my Kmart fabric glue, but it is very, very wet and it spreads out a lot, so. So the common name. And the species. So for the front, I thought I would use another one of their beautiful photo slides. So, but I'm just using the plain ones this time. In my last video, we used I think these are set 2 as well. We use these ones that are sort of more embellished with stamps and that, which are really cool. But this time we're just using the plainer ones. Although I think this is, well, I could use this one. This is the other side. Usually I'd use the front side. Don't know why I fixed up the other side. Because we like the one that, because I'm fussy like that. Don't tell me I have to now fix up one of the front ones. There he is. What's he doing there? He has some nice bits on him too. All right, he doesn't look too hard to fix up, so let's fix him. That's if I don't bend him even more. Okay, so what I have to do to fix these is I cut them with my scanning cut, so there's just little bits of whiteness on the inner window mainly that I need to cut out. It's a bit better. The scissors can fix that. Now what I might do, I haven't got much ink on here at the moment, I don't think. I will get it on my slide, but that's all right. It just gives it a bit more grungy effect. Just going to go in the window like that, and then I want to get in the corners a bit. So So I have this little barn owl, which I also cut out of our field guide. And he will need ink as well, because everything needs ink. Let's just take the wide edges off of the fussy cut bits. So he's going to sit in there like that. And then for background, I've got some of the relic fragments of cuts, which work really nicely. So I'm going to cut a bit of that out. That should do fine. And we need a window as well. So that's the right height. So that will be good. So I'll put our window in before I forget. And we'll just clean it off a bit. Which I'm doing with my shirt because I haven't got my cloth here. At least the sides will be stuck. I don't know about the top and bottom, but it doesn't matter too much. Now what I might do is just trim. It's got a fair bit of excess there. I'll have to push it back down in a minute. There. It's a bit better. Now our background, I'll make sure it's not too big, which it probably is a little bit. So let's just chop a tad off the top and a tad off of this side. Fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so we're going to put that on, but we will be doing some sewing on that too, so we won't stick it onto the book yet. But what we will do is stick a little owl onto a piece of card. About like that will be fine. Make sure there's no glue oozing out and let them dry a little bit before we stick them into our transparency. So the next thing we want to do is stick our transparency down onto our owl now. let that dry and then we're going to do a bit of sewing with that. So I did a zigzag stitch around my slide there, and that's the back of it. So that holds it all together nicely. And then what I've done is I've got some of this wallpaper. This is a bit of wallpaper sample. And I love the colour and the texture of that, so I thought that I would put my slide onto that. I've inked around the edge of the wallpaper as well. So I'm just going to stick my slide onto that, and then I stick that onto my little booklet. Might put a tad of glue on just to be sure, although they are quite sticky. Just a couple of drops of glue. Okay, that's all right. Don't love it, but I don't hate it, so it will do. I'll put it in migration status as international. That will do. Just thinking I've only got one of these, so I don't know what I'll put on the other one, but that's all right. At least I used one of them. It's one less I have to lose now. Odd idea. Let's just do... I've got that really long one. We've got big ones. I've got the words for this again, but I'm going to have to hunt them out and stick them down. So I'll do that afterwards and stick them on this one. So I think I'm going to leave it as that for now. I do have a date stamp too, so I'll probably do a date. Found a date, huh? So we're going to do this, I think. And I'm just going to line it up with these things. And this thing should help me. Yeah. There and there and there. Oh, beautiful. There. And there. There we go. Yay. Takes so long to do the simplest things. Oh, I was going to say here it's got a date anyway, and it's the 24th, September the 24th, 1944. And that's the 30th of August, 2022. Oops. Oh, well. That was a whoopsie. I don't know why. I read that and thought, oh, yeah, that's way ages ago. But no, it's 2022. So that's a little book. Open it up and we've got our information, page to write on. Now with these pages, they can be written on actually. That's not too bad. Or a photo or picture could be stuck there. Could even put a little pocket or something. And more writing space. So nice room in there to do bits and pieces. And then that's the back page. So I really like those. They're neat little booklets, and they can be slipped into a pocket, side pocket or a bottom pocket, or just tucked. You can just tuck like the back page into a pocket and leave the rest hanging out. So they're going to be nice little additions for my journal. So I hope you enjoyed that. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.